Toby is a tram engine. He is very boxy in appearance and doesn't look like a steam engine at all. His line in the east of England runs along farm lanes and roads. As such, he has cowcatchers and side plates to prevent injuries and accidents. He takes wagons and people from the farms and factories down to the main line. He has a coach called Henrietta, who has seen better days. She has shabby paint and worn boards. The pair often think about days gone by when the line was busy and 9 wagons would rattle behind them. Now only 3 or 4 take their place. Henrietta, who was once full, trundles behind Toby's saddle, mostly empty. "It's not fair at all," she'd say, looking at the cars and buses. They often had accidents. Toby hadn't had an accident in years, but still the buses were full and Henrietta was empty. "I can't understand it either. They'll come to see me, but they'll take the bus, and then they'll laugh and call us quaint, whatever that means." It was a glorious summer morning, and at the top station, a young boy came running up the platform. "Come, grandfather, come look! He's like the ones back home. Isn't he grand?" Behind him was a middle-aged lady, a young girl, and a stout gentleman. The gentleman smiled. "Not exactly, Stephen. That's a tram engine." "Is it electric?" Toby snorted crossly. "Electric?" "I think you've upset him," giggled the boy. "Well, aren't trams electric? The ones in the city are." "Well, yes, Bridget, but this one is a steam tram." "Can we ride him into town, please, grandfather? Topham, what did I say about trains this trip?" The stout gentleman chuckled. "It's for the kids, Margaret. My good man, may we get a trip?" The stunned guard led them into Henrietta, and the train set off. Henrietta was delighted to have passengers, however, Toby was upset. "Electric indeed! Electric indeed! Oh, you old fusspot, he was just curious. Besides, don't scare away our only passengers." "Oh, yes, I suppose." The family got off at the junction and went into town. They caught his later train back up the tramway. The stout gentleman came up to Toby politely at the end of the ride. "That was a very smooth run," he complimented. "Oh, thank you, sir. What is your name?" "Toby, sir." The stout gentleman wrote Toby's name, number, and location in a small book, and said thank you and departed the platform. Strange, I didn't take that man to be a railway enthusiast. That gentleman knows how to speak to us engines. The family came every day for a fortnight. Sometimes they rode with the guard, and others they rode in empty trucks. But the last day of all, the crew let them ride in Toby's cab. They were all sorry when they had to go away. The children said, "Bye, Toby and Henrietta. Thank you for a lovely holiday." The stout gentleman had a word with the manager before giving the crew a secret present. The crew were most excited, but said nothing to Toby. The children waved until they could no longer see the small brown tram engine. Only a month later, the manager stepped out of his office and looked at the fully loaded special. "Such a shame. We finally got all of our passengers back. Too bad it's on our last day." Toby had a lovely time. However, he knew what this meant. His driver and fireman parked him in the shed and said goodnight. "You two don't seem sad at all," Toby accused. "We just lost our home, and you men act like you don't give a care in the world." The crew just grinned at Toby and said goodnight. And with that, Toby went unhappily to sleep. The next morning, they threw open the shed doors and danced a jig around him. They were joined by other workmen. Toby was most confused until he saw a piece of paper clutched in the fireman's hand. "It's a letter from the Stout Gentleman." Toby listened with surprise to what the letter said. "But I mustn't say any more, or I shall spoil the next story."